Hi everyone, I am Rosana Jatobá and I have a suggestion for you. How about sharing the amazing ideas that are being presented in our festival Inovação with more people? You can do that by sharing hashtag Festival Inovação. Our next guest is Tetra Pak's Marketing Director Americas. Tetra Pak is a multinational company that manufactures food packagings. And since its foundation, almost 70 years ago, innovation has been a core element of the company's success. I would like to welcome Julia SOTERA. Hi Julia, it's a pleasure to have you with us. How are you?
I'm very fine, Rosana. Thank you very much.
And I would like to congratulate Klabin for this event and thank for this invitation. I'm very happy to be here. Our pleasure. Julia, as I just said, Tetra Pak was always concerned with innovation. It's in the company's DNA. But in the last few years, given the digital transformation and greater marketing pressure, do you feel the company is even more concerned with innovation? Definitely, Rosana. You said it very well. Innovation is in our DNA, so it's a company that reinvents itself on a daily basis. But the pandemic hit, and this has brought time to marketing into focus, the time required for transformation and innovation. And with regard to what we do on a daily basis, Tetra Pak is not only this wonderful company that manufactures little boxes for Brazilian consumers. We manufacture point-to-point solutions, and this means we offer processing and filling solutions. In this sense, we have a very holistic view of what is happening in the market. We look at the Brazilian people who are now even more concerned after the pandemics with healthy products, products that made them feel safe, that made them feel they are consuming healthy products. We have a greater concern in helping customers to develop new product formulas, but also equipment for processing, because we always say that we have to have a formula, but also the machine to formulate this product. And obviously, one of the basic requirements is the development of packagings that are increasingly more sustainable. So customers are more concerned with natural products, good products for health, but also this customer demands sustainable packagings. And now, in a partnership with Klabin, we have a packaging with a very good environmental profile, because they are 100% recyclable, but also, and there's where Klabin plays a vital role on the paper side, these packagings are made of renewable materials. And this provides a very good profile for our packagings. But the commitment is to keep on offering better solutions. Julia, you said you offer point-to-point solutions for packaging and filling. And what does this really represent when it comes to consumer decision-making, the sustainability factor? Very good. Consumers are demanding more and more responsibility from companies. So, if I deliver a packaging, what is the company's responsibility when it comes to recycling? We, in Tetra Pak, in partnership with suppliers, which is vital, have created a website, The Pathway to Recycling, where we explain, like if you live in a given neighborhood in São Paulo, where are the selective collection sites? How can we help consumers to be engaged? But the primary responsibility in the eye of consumers lies with the industry. So we deliver packagings that are made of renewable materials, paper. More than 75% of our packagings are paper, and this paper, given Klabin's care with forests, is certified. So I know that the papers I take from nature are backed by responsible forest management. We are also committed, in partnership with suppliers, to reduce the footprint of this packaging. So how much water is used in the operation to develop a product and how can it be reduced? So it's not only a box, not only what happens after this box has been used at home. It's how we promote sustainability consciousness throughout the operation. What do I need the client to do? And to get to this level of consciousness, to have a packaging that is sustainable from step one, from forest management to the use of renewable energy. Because a recyclable packaging is of no use if it is manufactured with fossil fuels. So these are elements that permeate the whole productive chain of the company. And to reach this level of consciousness, I believe the company had to innovate a lot. Very much. But I believe this is closely tied to our essence and our origin. Tetra Pak is a Swedish company, and Sweden is all about innovation. Several multinational companies are Swedish, and the commitment with preservation is vital. We only have this world. I believe we should take care of it. For sure. And you've touched on something important, which is the massive increase in the amount of packaging, many of them made of plastic, which is a major source of pollution of rivers, lakes, and oceans. And this is a core concern for a company that wants to be sustainable. It's true. It's vital. Hence, our commitment. Currently, 82% of our packaging is made of renewable materials, and we are committed to 100%. To achieve this goal, I need partnerships as strong as the one with Klabin. All players in the food industry must be equally committed. Tetra Pak alone won't be able to make this transformation. We need collaboration. You mean all players in the industry. I would like to expand the scope of our conversation to ask you this. As regards shared responsibility, I believe this involves everyone, the consumer, public administration, the market, and the industry. Everyone. And you have touched on a key point. More and more, we need laws in this sense. We need a participating administration, not only the consumer, although the consumer also, but the industry. We all must work for a new world, for a better world for all of us. Tetra Pak is committed to this goal, and so are our strategic partners. I'm very happy to talk to you and see you are a woman in a leadership position in such a respected company that has so much influence in the sector. How is it for a woman to have a career like yours? How can you inspire other women in this long journey? We know that in boards of directors, women tend to correspond to 8 to 9% of members. So it's still very limited. It's still a very male-dominated environment. I agree. And I believe the most important message I can leave is not an advice, just a message, is that as women, we should keep aiming high. We have shown we are as capable as men. All we need to do is to commit to our dreams. Looking at my own career, I believe family support is vital, because the daily grinding is more complex for a mom than for a dad. And that's just nature. What we need to do is to accept it as part of the game. And if it's part of my reality, I must be able to communicate how important it is to me to be in this role. For me, I dreamed as a child that I would be a businesswoman working for a large multinational company. And I think that's how it is, and you can make it happen. In Tetra Pak in particular, we have diversity programs implemented at all levels at the company. And these stem from the company's global management. Adolfo, our global CEO, was first VP Americas, and the first change he implemented was the confirmation of his management team to include more women. Our current VP Americas is a woman. So for us, this is the daily routine. We need to show our capabilities. We need to work to prove we are good at what we do. And our marketing director in Brazil is also a woman. So that's part of the game. It's interesting to hear you say we must work to prove we are good rather than waiting for male recognition. Exactly. Why should we need male recognition? In our team, I have several women who report to me, and I am a firm believer it's up to us. Julia, talking about biodegradable packaging and bulk shopping, how do you see the future of packaging globally to cope with this demand for reduction of the amount of packaging in the environment, for a healthier life and a healthier environment? It's a very good question. I believed, based on the trends we see, and we purchased lots of market research to understand consumer dynamics, we believe that we players in the industry will be expected to provide packagings with a sustainable life cycle. This means we will put the best we have in packaging, and we will be able to use these packagings more than once or reduce the environmental footprint of packaging. So when you look at smaller communities, you can see that it's possible to go back to a more traditional type of farming based on manual work with families and bulk shopping. But in large cities such as São Paulo, Shanghai or Singapore, I believe this will be much more difficult to go back to the basics. What I believe is the ingredients used to manufacture the packaging must be harmless. You must commit to reduce energy or replace energy by renewable energy. About 2 years ago, we have made large investments to have sustainable energy in our factories. And this was done first in the US. I feel this type of commitment is more sustainable and more tailored to consumers' current way of living. Just to give you a personal example, when the pandemic hit, we switched 100% to a remote working system, but my daily routine did not change. So when I hear a psychologist says that you have to break for cooking as your grandmother did, this does not exist. I'm still a businesswoman working for a large company. I'd love to cook, but I cannot stop. I don't have time. I have a veggie patch, though, lemongrass and stuff. But this is because I like to have lemongrass tea. But I won't go into domestic organic farming for lettuce and tomatoes. It does not fit my routine. So we need to balance things out. And that's where I see the industry developing. I believe in an industrial revolution that moves forward, not backward. What we retain from this essence, this background, is the caring side of things, the importance of what we do, and what the final impact will be on a chain as a whole. Are you an optimist? Because specialists say that we've reached a point of no return. What do you think? That's deep. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and if it's happening right now, it's because we have the power to change it. So I'm an optimist by nature. I would never say we've reached the point of no return. What I believe is that we've been flagged, that leaders of companies, governments, and our responsibility as individuals for that is vital to reach this tipping point. We are being called upon to take responsibility for the impact of our actions globally, but definitely it's up to us and we must do better. I would like you to tell us about Tetra Pak's responsibility regarding the consumer, who is at one extreme of the production chain, because if consumers make conscious, responsible choices, we will be able to invent a new way of living. So what does work for this consumer? Awareness campaigns? What do you think? It's very interesting. Tetra Pak is what we call a B2B company. So we work with customers. But basically, why are we so successful? This is because in our heart we have an understanding for our final consumer. We seek to understand what is impacting our consumer. I'll give you an example. As of last year, we saw an exponential growth in online shopping. We cannot go out, so let us shop online. Good. And what happened? The industry had to adapt. We are now working in partnership with Klabin to develop a package that is better or provides a better shopping experience for consumers who are shopping online. This packaging must be adapted to a different value chain. Packagings were developed for mass distribution in a huge market. And this may no longer be 100% appropriate. We have a more mixed reality with a different consumer journey. So we must understand our consumers and adapt. As to what consumers want, I believe it's harmless formulas products. Our last product launches in partnerships with clients, I will mention one with Piracanjuba, a product called Tem Mais Whey, which is a product with a higher protein content, because we understood there is a growing demand on the part of people who go to the gym or even at home, who jog, who walk, and need a ready-to-eat product to replace everything that was used while exercising. So we have developed this formula in co-creation with Piracanjuba at our Innovation Center in Montemor. And this was a vital change for us. We understood what our customers needed: facts, market research, and also room for co-creation for new ideas. But we all have ideas. And the difference between success and failure is to bring this idea to fruition as quickly as possible. The pandemic has shown us that time matters. We cannot spend 15 years developing a product. We must do this quickly on a smaller scale, to experiment, to learn, and then refine the solution for a more massive launch. And for that we have created our Innovation Center that is open for our customers for co-creation. Very interesting, Julia. We always think that innovation requires a lot of money. Is this a myth or not? There is a little bit of everything. What we did in the last few years was to challenge this paradigm. I believe, or rather I know, there are many startups and small entrepreneurs, I forget the word in Portuguese, who are making things happen, and they don't have the marketing budget of a large multinational company, and yet they are driving changes globally, not only in Brazil. So I believe we must know what innovation we are seeking and ask ourselves how we can do that in a different manner. I will give you one example. Last year, we had this paradigm, and I'm talking about my team as a whole, that to have these co-creation journeys and innovation journeys with customers, we had to invite him to one innovation center. We have 6 around the world. I am the leader of 2, one in Brazil and one in the US. So we had to invite this customer, and he had to give us 2 days full time for us to assist him in co-creation of a product, in formulation, and try it in a small size as a pilot, and then plan the launching. And then in March 2020, well, I was in the US, and when I came back, I had almost a crisis management conversation with my team, and I said, listen, our way to innovate is dead. No one will be traveling around during the next year. What are we going to do? And we have created a digital journey. And the interesting point is that I did not invest a single Brazilian real. We have flipped the switch. We thought, if we needed 48 hours from a customer to think together, I will have 2. What can I do in 2 hours that will be so profound so as to lead to innovation? And we have created a virtual visit to the center. If the customer cannot go to Montemor for safety reasons, the most important thing for Tetra Pak during the year was to take care of people, to protect what is good. And what is good is to protect people, family, consumers, customers, and suppliers. Nobody can go out. So we have created a virtual journey and a virtual visit. He can see the test, the pilot, by clicking a web link to feel part of this transformation. And we didn't invest any money. I said part of the resources must be used in social actions. Perfect. How can we do that without investing? And we did it. Julia Sotera, I enjoyed our conversation very much. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Good luck in your journey, in your beautiful trajectory, and I hope I will see you again. For sure, you bet. Thank you very much for the invitation. It was a pleasure to have this beautiful conversation. Good luck with the other guests and have a good festival. And you stay with us in Festival Inova Klabin em Casa. The program is fantastic and should not be missed. See ya!